this.
Oh, now we have, and we're live. Good morning, everybody. Hello, and how are you? Lee's making us have some light here.
Good morning. Welcome to Green Cow.
Good morning. All right. So, as always, it's Monday morning, and we are live, and we would love for you to let us know that you are here. And say hi, give us a hashtag replay if you're watching on the replay. Let us know some good news.
And click on the little heart button.
All the hearts.
All the hearts.
We need 100 hearts.
Buttons. So we're not sure what we want to talk
morning.
about. Hi, Mark. We're a little indecisive about what we're going to talk about today.
Oh my goodness, that's not even funny. Hello, Facebook user. Oh, it's funny. Carla. Hi, Carla.
Hi, Carla. Thank you, Carla.
Carla did something really. Carla's like, I'm getting off this. How many coffees have they had? Mark, congratulations on your first Common Award. Your award
it's
is
a
in the
rubber
mail.
duck.
Yes. It's not a Starbucks gift card because, I'm going to keep that. Although, guys, this is day 3 of my new habit, which is going to Panera. This is my second free month of coffee. And I'm not eating unhealthy junk from McDonald's or Starbucks.
Well, that's awesome.
I'm getting, coffee at Panera because I'm not even hungry after I have coffee. But like before I have it, I think I am. So, and it's cheaper because it's my second month of free coffee. So yeah, guys, you should be proud of me. Carla did something exciting this weekend. She went to a virtual meditation retreat.
Meditation retreat.
Yes, it was cool. I mean, she sent me the link to check it out because I guess the sessions were recorded or like meditation and something else. Tell us about it, Carla. So that was pretty cool. She says that she's glad to see you drinking out of the mug that she gave her. So thank you. I use mine. I use mine at home all the time. Carla gave me a mug for Christmas also. So, and Mark is sitting in Panera right now. So if you tell us which Panera, Mark, we might descend on you shortly. No, just kidding. All right. So as always, let us know what you got going on. If you've got some good news to share with everybody. This weekend is Easter already. Did you know that?
Yes, I did.
Because I did not know that until 2 days ago that I was like, oh, what are we doing for Easter? And then my friend was like, well, I said, do you want to eat at my house or do you want to go out to eat? And she said, I wouldn't want to make you cook. I'm like, hello, you know me. Like I would clearly get it catered. So I don't know. No, though I did make steak in my air fryer. If you guys have been following my Facebook, and it was really good, and I brought you some. So air fryers rock. Valpo Panera, that place is like Grand Central Station, but they are really nice there, so that's cool. So Carla said her retreat that she went to this weekend was 9 different areas of well-being, not just meditation, but that too. Wow. So awesome. I was fortunate.
Do you want to come on and tell us about it? I want to know more about it.
Yeah, tell us more. I think there is some, you can sign up and it's free to watch the videos and stuff. I have it on my list. Another one of our sponsors who we don't have up here yet, Steve Crane, I got to have lunch with him this week. So that was exciting and fun for me. And it was cool to hear everything that he was up to. So you guys are doing awesome things and that's great. So if you're here, if you're one of the 6 people that are watching and not one of the 2 people who have said hello. Coffee.
Have a little more coffee.
So please say hello and let us know that you're there. I believe that means 4 people have not said hello. Karen Crawford Moore is here. Karen,
hi, Karen.
It's nice to see you.
We need more information.
We have it. We have it. Yes. I wanted to say thank you also to all of our sponsors like Karen who have submitted their information. We are working on getting it together right now. So yeah. Karen has a free virtual cooking demonstration this Wednesday, so please put the link in the comments. Cool. And also know, because you're a sponsor, you can promote that in our group as well. It doesn't have to be on Friday. So when you're ready, post it in the group and let people know about that. So that's exciting. All right, so that leaves, well, now there's 7 people watching and 3 who have said hello. Like, math is happening right now.
Well,
Still,
you know,
still
if you
think
don't
that's
want to
4.
say hello, that's okay. Just send one of those little heart
And
thingies.
not be angry. Anything
Not-
but the angry. So
Well,
I'm
unless
gonna,
you happen to be angry. If you're angry, you
but
can
then you
send
need to
them.
tell me why you're angry, because I'm going to sit here wondering for like 2.5 years if you don't
Yeah.
tell me why you're angry. All right. So, thank you for being here. And as always, if you think of some good news that you want to share it with us. We are going to talk today a little bit about indecision. So we're kind of indecisive. We were indecisive about our topic this morning. So we decided that we would choose indecision. Isn't that how it went?
It was kind of like that, yeah.
Yeah. So, and our main idea is we want to think of what do we do when we are having a difficult time making a decision. So I'd love to hear from some of you guys about what it is that you do when you're having a hard time making a decision. It could be kind of any decision that maybe you want to throw out some examples. But yeah, so let us know what I think we run into this often.
Once in a while.
Yeah.
But I want to remind everybody, we're on StreamYard here today, and we're streaming to several places, including some Facebook sites.
And the moon.
Yeah, not the moon.
Also Mars.
And YouTube, which might as well be Mars because people haven't found that yet for us. But the point I'm making is we're using StreamYard in part because we can bring people on to talk about things. And so if you have a little story about indecision, or if you're not sure if
you want to talk, but you have to be a sponsor, but you are welcome to come on.
Yeah, it's just for sponsors.
But we would love to hear from you. So come on and feel free to talk about it. And let us know about sometimes maybe in the comments here also that you have faced indecision and what you've done about it. But one of the things that I work with a lot of people that are feeling indecisive because I'm a career coach. So a lot of times I work with people who are making transitions and they're not exactly sure where they want to go. So they're trying to decide, should I stay where I've always been, or should I try something new? And if so, what? And sometimes like there's different ideas. Sometimes there's not a lot of ideas. Sometimes it's just the indecision is so strong that they feel like they're unable to do anything. Yes. So they feel stuck. And that is a yucky place to be. And also as me, like ADHD brain over here, that happens to us a lot too, where it's like there's so many things. So I'm just going to do nothing. So when I work with my clients in that particular the situation, like I need to make some kind of big life transition and regarding career, business, and stuff like that. A lot of times it is people who are trying to decide if they should go start a business or if they should continue with their career. They're at some pivotal moment, where like they're up for a promotion or their company's closing or they have to make a geographical transition and they need to decide then, what direction they're going to go, if they're going to continue on this route or do something new. One of the techniques that I often give those people is to give themselves permission to explore within a fixed period of time.
That. Okay.
Well, no, like you go to the moon, right? Exploring.
Yeah, okay. Well, I do that regularly.
So you regularly go to the moon?
Yeah.
That's a little weird.
Just to visit.
No, you go to Mars because you want to visit your family. Since that's where you're from. Not mine. I'm not saying you're an alien.
Is that a problem?
Just a suggestion that it's possible. So what I say as far as giving yourself a period of exploration is, I think oftentimes we feel a lot of pressure to be working towards something, and it's good to be working towards something. But when you're in that moment of trying to weigh various options and see what's out there, I'm a big fan of saying, okay, I'm giving myself a fixed period of time to explore. And that might be 2 weeks, 2 years, 2 months, 2 days, depending on your situation and what the decision is that you're trying to make.
Okay. So this is career focused.
It's
right
mostly career focused. It works for some other things too. But a lot of times just when there's, okay, so maybe like you're trying to decide if you want to take an educational program or not. I mean, it's kind of like, I want to make some sort of move and I want to see what's out there. It's usually career business focused.
Okay.
But what I usually do is say, okay, give yourself that period of time. And then you can to take that time to just explore. And you don't have to make a commitment. Like actually, I usually say commit to not making a commitment during that time. Like if there's a huge opportunity that comes up and you feel really like this is the thing, then of course take it. But usually what I say is like, if you're saying 2 weeks, say during this 2 weeks, I'm not accepting anything. I'm not, I'm going to have to let people know I will get back to them about it. I'm just purely looking. I'm seeing what options are out there. Whether that means talking to people, doing research, going to different places, like whatever it is, do those things.
Do you recommend that people journal during that time?
I always think reflection is important. As a writer, I hesitate to talk about journaling just because as a writer and a former writing teacher, writing is extremely helpful to me. It could also be super challenging to me because I want to make it perfect. But as a former writing teacher, I know that the act of writing can be a huge deal breaker for some people. People that it just doesn't, like actually having to put it down is a barrier. And so I'll say some type of reflection during this period is really important. Whether you journal or you like record little videos, you do video diary, or you do some sort of audio recording, or you just have conversations with people. Some sort of reflection is really important. So.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's kind of one of my suggestions is just taking that time to explore and the big thing is giving yourself that permission and saying, I don't have to be working towards anything right now. And I don't have to and in fact, I'm not going to make a decision during this time. This is my time to explore and I'm going to do that. I did that for like 10 years for me. And I don't know, going back, like I might've done things a little differently, but I'm really glad that I had that time because it allowed me to learn so many different things and meet so many people that became really important to me in my future. So that's one of the things. Jerry said good morning. So good morning.
Good morning, Jerry.
And Mark said, this is why I shop at Costco. They don't have 57 varieties of ketchup. They only have 1 to 2 types. I have told you guys my story about getting stuck in the mustard aisle or the barbecue sauce aisle. There's all the kinds. I can't do this. So, yeah. And then Carla shared the course that she took. So thank you for that.
Thanks, Carla. Yeah, there's a bunch of information there and Earl for their website and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm. So, but I think the decision fatigue thing that Mark is talking about, which I think is like the term for when we have too many choices.
What was the term?
Decision fatigue.
Fatigue.
You have to make so many choices that can be frustrating. Okay. So that the other indecisiveness, which is like the ADHD decisiveness.
I kind of like decisionitis.
Decisionitis. I think it's a little easier to say. So that is like kind of when you just feel so overwhelmed. You've got so many things to do and you feel like you have to do them now. My thing is I have to feel like I'm even subconsciously, there's a fear of forgetting about it or yeah. So
I have a solution for that.
Right. Which I have developed, like now I have a solution for that and it works so much better, but your solution is writing it down, I'm assuming. But here's the thing. You have to write it down in the right way or else it's still going to get forgotten.
Okay.
And
so have you found a right way for you?
I have found a right way for me.
What is your right way?
So what I do now is I actually email myself everything. And I put like some sort of a little marker on it. Like, if it's like so I'm thinking about, I need to clean off a shelf in my house or whatever it is. I just quickly email it to myself. Then you can also set up your Alexas to email yourself. So you can say like, hey, Alexa, like email me and then put your subject in there. And so I email everything to myself and then I just have a set time during the day where I categorize my emails and I use a system that lets me put them in different boxes. like a personal, and then like a Morley career, and like a green cow, and then I have a kid one. And I was talking to Mark on Friday, and now I have one for stuff I need to buy, which, by the way, Mark, I thought all those things were like urgencies, and they were actually, it was just ADHD again. So good news for me. But yeah, so that's what I do. And then I categorize them into my different lists. And then I have time blocked to deal with each list. And then when I get to it, I can go through and my list is already pre-populated there. Now I do use a system called Streak for that, which is a free add-on to Chrome. I don't know that I'd be able to do it without that. I mean, there's similar techniques, but that makes it a lot easier. Matt says he hates managing his email though. Well, I mean, that's just one way. There's 100 different ways. I use Post-it notes as well. I still have one with me kind of at all times if I can't email it to myself, but that's the thing that worked for me just because I wasn't losing it. I wasn't having to go back and record it later. I was just easily filing it. But again, that's something that works for me.
So if you have a system that works well for you, let us know.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody's different, everybody manages these things differently. But the important thing is that you don't just lose those to-dos. They don't just fly off and, I'll remember to do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's taking up precious brain cycles.
Sure. And so a lot of times that indecision, when you're faced with like Mark's, the kinds of ketchup, right? The types of barbecue sauce, the decision fatigue, like what that is it's your brain. I have all these things and I'm feeling overwhelmed. And like having a way to handle that is really important because indecision can sometimes be fear. It can sometimes be disorganization. It can sometimes be, just being overwhelmed. It's not necessarily like I don't want to make a decision. It's sometimes those other things are there too. And if you have a way to deal with those things, then that'll work for you. So, can I just have Lee remind me of things? That also happens sometimes. But normally if I do that, I'm like, hey, Lee, remind me that I gotta do this. He'll just be like, hey, go do this. And I'm like, he's like, did it? That doesn't help. So, yeah. But we'd love to hear other ways of how you handle indecision. So I would say also you guys are like just arguing about who's going to remind you of stuff. That's not the point. But I think sometimes indecision can be like procrastination. Like there's a fear.
Well, it could be related, certainly.
Yeah. I think sometimes we gravitate towards if there's something that maybe we're really fearful of or that we're...
Time for eating frogs.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're unfamiliar with that reference.
Lee just likes to eat frogs. He's got some in the fridge and he eats them in the 57 different kinds of barbecue sauce or ketchup. Sorry.
Don't you need to go get more coffee or something? Eating frogs. What's the book?
I think
I know you guys
Mark
know
knows the book. It's in a lot of books now, actually.
Is it?
Though,
okay, so the idea is take those things to do that you don't really want to do, and especially the most important don't want to do's, and just do them. It's eating the frog, then you're done with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because we don't want to use indecision as an excuse to not do anything. And it's it's important to make good decisions. It's important to do the work you need to do to make good decisions. Sometimes you do have to do that exploration. There needs to be some kind of research involved. It's not good to just make a decision all the time without any thought about it.
Oh.
Although we have talked before about making decisions quickly being important. So.
It is important, and then changing your mind slowly if you must change your mind. So. Yeah, like so many other things. Overwhelm. Who mentioned overwhelm?
That was Karen. Yeah, she mentioned overwhelm. So, yeah, we've done some talks before on dealing with overwhelm also. And I think, again, that's sometimes it can be an organizational thing. Sometimes it can be, I talked on Friday about identifying like if everything you're doing is really what it aligns with your goals and with your personality and all of that. And sometimes when you're overwhelmed, like that's a sign that there's something that needs to go. Sometimes there are other things at play. I've talked before too about how like if you have a pressing physical or mental health issue, sometimes it's a relationship issue. Sometimes it's an underlying challenge that's really big, but you just haven't noticed it yet. I actually came to one of these conclusions this weekend because I was getting frustrated about a situation that truly, like, there were some things in there that people were not doing the right thing. So that was true. There was some of that. But then I thought, I was like, but at the end of the day, like, you're not necessarily being your best person right now. So you could probably handle that a lot better if you were your best person. and there's, this is why you're not. So sometimes it is those things, and you have to address that issue. You're going to continue to feel overwhelmed. You're going to, because you're addressing like the symptoms and not the actual problem when you have like a big thing like that, right?
Okay. So Carla mentioned that if she's indecisive about something big, it's for a reason. It might be the right thing, but the wrong time. So if I'm hesitating, there might be a good reason for it. And that might well be true, but don't let it get lost. Because if it is truly important, it should be on a list. So that you look at on a regular basis. That
wait, you're supposed to write it down and look at it? That's like using two of my capabilities here. I don't know.
Yeah, there might be a third. Yes, when you have something big that may not be the right time right now to work on, at least capture it so that when you capture something like that, you can let it go and not be concerned about it, knowing that you'll see that list again tomorrow.
Right.
And maybe it'll be the right time tomorrow to work on that.
Right. And then, Carla, one of the things I think you're talking about there is like intuition also. Like if you have a feeling about something, there's an intuitive feeling you're experiencing about like this doesn't feel right, or this does feel right, or something like that. I think it is important to listen to those things. I hear a lot, like, I tend to experience that also. And so I might not necessarily have like a concrete reason, but I will, have a feeling about something. I think it is important to listen to those things, but I think we kind of have to listen to multiple things, right? So like we listen to that feeling, but then also kind of look at what else might be going on to see. Yeah.
Don't just rely on the feeling, because we can trick ourselves. We really can. That's a bad thing to do, and it's the right thing to do. And our subconscious makes those decisions. We don't do it. So, be careful about the single source.
Sure. Yeah. So Mark has a great comment there. Can you read that? I can't see it super well.
I'm an external processor. I can come to a decision faster if I have someone to listen to me ramble. It works better for me than writing or recording myself. This is the value of a good coach.
Mark's also starting our karaoke Monday over there.
More than a feeling.
Yeah. So I would say, I'm a little bit like that too, Mark. I do like to have someone listen to me. And sometimes it's a coach, and sometimes it's a friend, and sometimes it's you. Mostly it's you. But that is true. That's what I was saying too, even with like reflection.
Well, thank you for that. Confidence, or
you're a good
whatever
listener.
it is.
I appreciate it. I'm sorry that you have to listen to me ramble.
You do good work, so I appreciate you.
So you don't mind the rambling first period of time. But it is really true also that I'm like that too. I do like to have a conversation to work out my ideas, not necessarily like when I form the idea, but I want to have the conversation to work out the ideas. And so, yes, having a good coach, having a mentor also, depending on what you need it for, right? Like what situation it is. And, what the circumstances are. But I think that is really important. That's even why I said about reflection. Sometimes a conversation can be a reflection. Sometimes you're reflecting on yourself to someone else and they're actually taking the notes about it for you. Because I know that reflection is really easy for some people and really challenging for others.
Really?
Yeah. Some people like self-reflection it doesn't come naturally. And it's almost, it's uncomfortable, or they feel like they're being judgmental of themselves or something like that.
Is that a learned behavior?
I don't know. I wonder how, I think some people are kind of taught to be reflective from when they're much younger. And then some people are not, maybe. And I think also it's a personality kind of thing. So some people who are like really concrete thinkers, sitting back and reflecting over something that's already been done may not seem productive to them. And it also might seem a little weird. So yeah, I don't know. I think you guys let me know what you think about self-reflection. See, as a writer, self-reflection was always very important to me, even through like going through all of my school, because self-reflection was like ingrained into all of the assignments. And I think as a teacher also, because teachers are taught to be very reflective of their teaching. So that's a huge part of, like, you're supposed to keep a reflection journal, and you're supposed to have like a teaching philosophy that a reflection journal. Yeah. A lot of times, like, where you write down, things that went well or didn't go well in the classroom and all that kind of stuff.
That's good.
And so in that profession, you're taught to be a lot more reflective, where you're looking at something and you're actually like evaluating it, where I think other people tend to be more just the facts, and also tend to be less like inclined to spend the time doing that. So I don't know. I'm curious about what you guys think about that. But I do think that there's a huge value in self-reflection, but I also think that can sometimes lead to indecision. If we spend all of our time reflecting and none of our time actually doing, then that's a problem.
Yeah, I like the coach or mentor idea. It's great to have someone you can talk to about some of your things that you're thinking about. And it just seems like such a blessing to have another perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the things that, again, we've talked before on the difference between coach, mentor, and therapist. I think all of them play a role in some of this. Sometimes having just someone that you can talk to, and they're not really going to tell you what to do. They're just going to kind of ask questions and help you come to the conclusion.
How does that make you feel?
But then I think also sometimes where a coach differs in that is that a coach sometimes could steer you towards making the right decision once they know what you really want. So that's depending on what it is that you want and what you need.
Put me in, coach.
Okay, again, for Karaoke Monday, we're gonna have some John Fogerty tunes. I saw him at the not the Blue Chip, at the Hammond Casino.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I did. Alice Cooper also. Karen said that chefs also do the self-reflection. So I think maybe it's something that's more common among us creative folks, but maybe not. I don't know. I'm curious to hear what other people have to say about that. And I'm curious to hear what other people have to say about methods for dealing with indecision. Yeah. So
sometimes I just have to stop and meditate.
I thought you were going to say stop and tell Miranda to stop talking.
No, that's hard to do. No, seriously, I just have to look at my list, focus on something just for a few minutes. It doesn't take long.
I had a moment like that yesterday where I needed to respond to a situation, and it felt extremely urgent. Like I needed to do it right now. And there was a bit of urgency involved, like doing it next week wouldn't have worked well for me. But I really did kind of have that nudge to stop and take some time away and let myself kind of just work through everything before I responded to the situation. Ended up working pretty well.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
So I think it's Carla who had an
Mark said
interesting.
Mark said he thought we were going to say stop, collaborate, and listen.
Yeah, isn't that how it goes?
Stop, drop, and roll. Also, I saw a meme that said for the amount of times that we learned stop, drop, and roll in school, I thought I would be on fire for far more often. Okay.
So that's an interesting thought too.
All right. So Carla's comment is.
Yeah, I thought it was an insightful comment. So she says, I think it also might be a function of introversion and extroversion, whether or not you are an internal processor or external processor. Of course, both do benefit from talking to others, but I think extroverts do it at the time of talking, whereas introverts need to do some initial work on their own.
Mark said that was the best comment of today. So yeah. I don't know. I think that it's possible that, yeah, I could see that being true. See, for me, I'm clearly an extrovert, but there's I have some introverted tendencies also. I think.
And I'm kind of just the opposite. I'm mostly an introvert with some extrovert.
Yeah, but I think what's interesting, I think there's a continuum there. I don't know that you're an introvert or an extrovert. I think you find
I think so.
Plot
and I'm about right there.
Right there. Yeah, I think that's really it's really insightful, Carla. And sometimes, I think what's most important here is to figure out what it is that does work for you and repeat those things. And if it doesn't work for you, try something new.
Don't repeat them.
Well, I don't want to say that because it might in the future.
Oh, so it might just not work for a particular instance.
But, think about, is this, because I'm more of an extroverted person, is it more likely that I'll come to a reasonable and successful conclusion if I have a conversation about this? Try that. But if I wouldn't say don't try the things that don't work for you, because it could also be situational,
Right.
If you decide to have a conversation, maybe you just picked the wrong person. Or maybe different situations call for different people and different things and all of that. So,
okay.
Yeah. Well, we're a little over time as typical.
Well, we may be over time, but we're under our usual time.
I thought you were going to say we were underpaid.
Oh, no. Definitely not underpaid.
Overworked and underpaid. All right. Well, I do think, so if anybody has some more thoughts about this topic, it's a good one to get your thoughts out there, get your strategies and ideas out there, because, everybody deals with this kind of stuff differently. But what is super important is that don't feel like you're fixed. We've talked between like growth mindset and Mark says, are we undecided about when to end the call? We've talked about growth mindset versus fixed mindset before. And like fixed mindset basically is when you're thinking that you are this way and you're always going to be this way and this is who you are. So you have to be this person even if you don't like it. And you're always going to be bad at handling these problems or these challenges or whatever it is. That's an issue. So growth mindset is where you're thinking about like, okay, this happened. Now, how do I use this to get to my next step? And so whatever it is that works for you, or might work for you, you can try it and use things that have worked for other people. What was interesting for me, because I feel like I've really kind of crossed a line with the systems in my life to like where they're actually starting to work.
Oh, awesome.
And that's really cool. But what's interesting, so I worked on that I worked very
diligently?
Focusedly. Oh. How do you say that? I was focused on, this issue for about a year now. I've been spending almost exactly a year really focusing on this organization issue for me. That was about the time when I realized that my brain does ADHD things. And so what are the tools out there that I can use to make myself more effective? And everybody gave me a lot of great ideas, which, I used and I discarded, or I used parts of, and now that I think things are working for me, it's something that I really had to make myself. So I took little bits and pieces of everything that I learned from other people, but not one single strategy from someone else worked for me. All of the different insight and wisdom I got from everybody helped me to create a systems
and that's probably
that work
true
uniquely
for
me.
most people.
Right. And so that's why I would say, if you are in that kind of situation where you're thinking, I really am indecisive, or whatever else that you want to improve, I want to make improvement in this area. Take little bits and pieces of all of these things that people are saying and see what works for you, and be encouraged while you do that, because there were a lot of times where I would feel really discouraged that, I'm trying to work on this and I thought I had a handle on it and it's just not working. But it really wasn't that it wasn't working. It was just like I had to go to the next thing, It's like when you're working through the math book and you feel like you master chapter 4 and then chapter 5 and you're like, wait, what? This is all new, and now there's letters. That's like the best comparison that I can make.
Is that like an algebra flashback?
Oh, yeah.
Flashback?
But I think it's the best comparison I can make, because I think many of us have had that experience of something like that being, seeming like you get somewhere and then you feel totally lost the next minute, but it's really just you're progressing. So what if you haven't decided if you're indecisive or not, Mark?
We'll just answer that for you. You are.
Yeah.
Okay, so you probably noticed the people, the sponsors on the board behind us. If you want to be one of them, let us know. And also, if you like a particular layout, let us know that too.
If you want to be a sponsor.
If you want to be if you want to be them. If you want to be Miranda, just put a green cow up.
I'd like to be Mark, please. Oh boy.
If you'd like to be a sponsor and get your picture and name up here, we try to get more than just name and picture. So if you see
like
Mark right now,
cool
he's got some stuff going on.
He's actually giving a 50% discount to our Green Cow folks, or folks who are watching this. Anybody who watches the Green Cow programming, he's giving a 50% discount to, which is pretty cool. So yeah, we would, Mark, he's singing Cat Stevens, which is like my favorite artist ever.
If you want to be you, be you.
And if you want to be me, be me. There you go. Anyway, if you are interested in becoming a sponsor and having your name on the screen, let us know. It is very affordable, and you do get some great exposure to, various people who might be interested.
There are other things too
in what you're doing. Yeah, and we've had some cool stories from our community of people who have connected through the sponsorship. There are also extras too. We have some fun stuff that you get, and we will tell you about that when you let us know. So give us a
good morning, Yvonne.
Yvonne,
Yeah.
Yay!
Finish your taxes. Okay.
I haven't even started that. But hey, the IRS.
Well, they gave us an extra month, so that's cool.
Everybody's, I think, many people, not everybody, Yvonne's on top of it, but many people are behind on taxes, and many of us are still waiting for documents from other people that we need, because I think so many people are behind on documents. So I have a couple of those situations too, where I'm running after some things.
Or like 1099s or something?
Yeah, stuff like that. So.
Okay.
But that is the case. But Yvonne, great job being proactive. That's awesome. And she's working on finishing her upcoming Saving Lives flyer, which is great. So Yvonne does a lot of work with fundraising for
St. Jude.
For St. Jude's. Yep. So doing great work there. Awesome. Well, if you are interested in becoming a sponsor, leave us a hashtag sponsor or message us, or you can just click the link that's in the description. Book a call and we'd love to talk with you. Of course, if you are interested in, if you have some questions about business or career and you're looking at making some changes in that area, we would love to talk with you. You can also use that link and book a call with us as well. Carla said she didn't know that we had an extra month. That was pretty recent that was extended.
Yeah,
I think,
so
right?
a week or
last
two
week,
ago.
yeah. So don't be surprised if you didn't hear about that one. So I was just glad because I was a slacker. So I was indecisive about when I was going to do my taxes. No, I'm actually I have someone else do my taxes, but I was running after papers. So just imagine me running down the road saying, "Hey, you got my 1099."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us. Thank you for commenting and talking about what's important to you. You can continue that in the group, Serving and Succeeding. For those of you who are not sponsors or members, you can, well, you've probably already joined the free group, otherwise you wouldn't see this.
Not necessarily, no, because they're watching us on multiple platforms. So if you're watching on
well,
another
join the free
platform,
group at least.
there's a link to that too.
Yeah, and let us know how we can help you. Yeah, we're here to actually. There's so many really great, thoughtful, insightful, intelligent people in the group. Sending out your questions is a great way to get some really good feedback and for perspective from others' views. That's what community does. And so, yeah, if you're not a member of Serving and Succeeding, which is a free group, do that. It's super easy to do, and it doesn't cost anything. So.
And there's a link in the description. So it's super easy. All right. Well, we have gone 41 minutes, and I'm supposed to be doing a Meaningful Work Monday video in a few minutes here on LinkedIn profiles and resumes and why you need both of them. So if you want to tune in for that, it's going to be pretty cool and important and awesome. But we're going to have to close down the shop here.
All right. Well, thank you for being here. It's a beautiful day in Chicagoland, and if you can do something really nice for somebody else and a whole bunch of people, if you have the resources, I know that some of you do, and we will see you soon.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.